My friends, welcome to another episode of the Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by Mafia Sports Report. I, as always, am Dr. Love, and of course, look at this. I can't do it without him, but we got Sauce Brunson in the house.
Hey, I'm the light-skinned man with the ashy hands. I'm only here because Doc over here has the plan.
Oh, hey, you got the points. We got the points working pretty good already. So, and of course, we got our first chat of the day from Christopher Roseborough. Yeah, look, can I get an idea? Yes, that's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. And you know what? Actually, we'll go into that right now, since we're just a little bit. Wait, hold on. Yeah, again.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we're going to be talking about AEW's New Japan's joint pay-per-view coming up this Sunday, but obviously there's been other wrestling news, including Money in the Bank coming out on July 1st. Now, we're not going to preview that completely, but obviously, if anybody watched Raw yesterday, we did get the final opponent that's going to be in the men's Money in the Bank. And that's Mr. Logan Paul. Yeah, the owner of the Buckshot Lariat now. Yep. Logan Paul. But the best part about it was LA Knight coming out and destroying him in one promo, destroyed him. And the fans all about it. I mean, and they were all about him. It's great seeing it. So even if he doesn't win, which I would still love to see him win, if the fans are still going to love him. So it was pretty cool seeing that.
Listen. With the hate, well, I say with the unfair hate that Logan Paul gets, Kim Jong-un could have came out there and called him a butthead, and the crowd still would have popped major. So nothing against LA Knight. I'm just saying people just really hate Logan Paul.
Oh yeah. It was funny. Gosh, when he said something like, "At least I don't make videos for 14-year-old girls and call myself a megastar." Yeah, I'm like, oh my god. His face is kind of like, I guess so. I guess that does happen. And we have another chat from D-Town Guy. We got a yeah in the house. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you as always. Well, yeah, right back. Probably multiple times. Because you know what? That's fine with us. So, but yeah, so I mean, now you have a Money in the Bank match that I'm excited for. Don't ask the internet wrestling community and their toxic traits, because they would say this is a bad match. This is a weak match. It's like, but why? Why? People want new people in these matches all the time, and then they complain about it when it happens. So you can't make it.
This is the wrestling internet community. I mean, they're almost pretty much the worst fandom. I mean, I say they well past Star Wars fans at this point.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, people get mad at the card that people are wrestling, but then these are the same people. Let's say if you had John Cena returning, Randy Orton returning, Batista returning, Undertaker coming out of the corpse that he's been in, and whatnot, and you get all these guys in the Money Bank Ladder match, then they complain like, "Oh my God, we don't have new people. We're just the same old people." So it's like, internet wrestling community, shut up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And D-Town Guy has it right here. So, you have to create new stars. And that's true. And the thing is, you have people that have been around the business for a while and now are finally getting that shot in this match. I mean, look at 2018? Is that the one where Brock Lesnar was in it and won Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Really? It's like, really?
And he showed up right at the end too, right when Mustafa was about to grab the briefcase.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was like a big troll. That was a huge troll at that point. Oh Lord. But look, the people we have in the match, we know certain people aren't going to win, but at least they're in this match now. And if Logan Paul hadn't been put in the match, I could have easily seen Santos Escobar winning. I could see him win. LWL's getting a huge push. They're looking good in the match. I don't know. I know LA Knight is the favorite front runner, but now with Logan Paul, it would give them an excuse to not have to have him on TV a lot, and then have that, and the Money in the Bank gets elevated in their way. Yeah, obviously, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it is what it is. We'll figure it out, but watch this. Logan Paul, this is real quick, but then we'll get into the other stuff. But Logan Paul wins, cashes in SummerSlam. He like immediately. Seth Rollins. So I don't know. I could see him do it because he already had this feud that he can continue on, But of course, we got another chat here from Papa Mafia. We got yeah. Thank you, Papa Mafia. And of course, we got that smash that like button. Of course, we like the likes, we like the yeahs. That's good. I wish we had a yeah button. Just yeah, I have a button. Let's see if we can get that working. And then we got D-Town guy. I could see Damian winning. And, we've talked about him over the past few months, and now they're seemingly giving him more of a push. I don't think Sauce believes this, but I could see maybe he winning, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I'll believe Ricochet becomes WWE champion before Damian Priest wins Sunday. I mean, wins, 2 weeks from now. Well,
sorry. Go ahead.
I think the biggest thing that changes the whole. So, since for the last 18 years when we've done Money in the Bank, the way we did our predictions, we always thought, okay, obviously they're going for like a main card belt. So who's getting the push? Who needs to push? Or who's just in the best person position right now? Now that you can like cash in on mid-card titles, this changes the whole dynamic of how to predict for this.
Oh yeah, because now you could easily have Ricochet win to then go after the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title, or you could have what I'm saying, and so you really can't predict it. Most likely they're going to go after the world title, but I think it was smart to do that because it makes it a little more unpredictable, as you said. So I like it. Looks like we do have another chat here too from Papa Mafia. We got Eric Bischoff, thinks AEW is a hobby for Tony Khan. And yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the podcast that he runs. It's a pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. It's easy for him to say it now. Like, look, there's issues with AEW, there's issues with WWE, there's issues with New Japan, whatever. But it's easy for Bischoff to say anything when he's got a failed company that he was part of. And I love WCW, but you don't have WCW anymore, okay? It's gone. It's been gone for 22 years? It's been gone. So, we always joke about TK, Tony Khan, how he kind of doesn't come off as a real, like an owner. I mean, he really doesn't, right? So awesome. He kind of, but.
Well, especially when you hear reports of how he's letting wrestlers pretty much, dictate their storylines. Like, he could be like, all right, I want you to do such. I want A to do a match with B, whatever. And person B says, well, I mean that's fine, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be the one to put over. I want to be put over. He said, oh, okay. The person A says, well, no, that's not what I'm doing. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to do it then. Once again, this is AEW. This is AEW night, and I'm gonna just say this right now. I'll say this. Since Cody Rhodes left, the booking has been just all over the place.
Yeah.
All over the place. What they need to do is have JR sit down somewhere, bless his heart, don't fall over again. Just have him sit in the chair and just be the booker or somebody who's competent. Be the booker. And then you let the talent know, like, hey, listen, this is how I'm booking this. Either my way or the highway. You can talk to Tony. You can go to plane to Papa Tony, but he's giving me full reign. We're here to do the business and make money. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. You have to make it a separate job that's delegated to somebody else, and then you don't have to worry about it. If you really want to pull a veto vote on something that really, really irritated you, whatever. But come on, give it to somebody else. Let them do the booking, so then you're not always in the limelight for it. But hey, I don't see that happening anytime soon. But a couple more chats here, and then we'll get into the thing. We got from Papa Mafia, of course. Bischoff, CM Punk doesn't really generate as good numbers as people think. And it was a huge mistake bringing him back. Yeah, I mean, again, Bischoff's going to say what he wants on it, and I didn't I don't like the idea of CM Punk coming back because he's not going to change. You know, it's going to take one other couple promos, him saying what's on his mind, you know, and is he telling the truth? Is that a lie? I'm sorry. What was he saying on,
he said, stop. What did he say? Stop me when I'm telling lies.
Stop me when I'm telling lies. And it's like, okay, look, yes, you're going to get numbers because of CM Punk coming back because there's a lot of fans. That helps that you started your show in Chicago, of course. And now you're more, and there are a bunch of CM Punk fans, but I don't think it's going to give the numbers consistently to keep consistent. Like supposedly he was supposed to have a match at the show, which it's still not confirmed, and it might not even happen. He was supposed to be possibly facing off against Kenta at this match at Forbidden Door, but as of right now, it's not happening, and there could be a good reason why it's not happening. Because he's not even ready to wrestle a singles match coming back. Come on, but yeah. And then a couple more here, and then Papa Mafia with WCW only company to beat WWE numbers, and it was for over 3 years. So I think he can say that. Yeah, trust me. I watched it during that time too. They had completely new product with the fact that you had the NWO, something that really was unheard of at the time. You had kind of stale WWF product at the time, and it was a perfect storm. The perfect storm of where the ratings were going to be better. And guess what? That was great for us fans. That was the best part. Me and my brother used to watch wrestling back and forth. TV in the living room, TV in the bedroom. Let's watch it. It'd go back and forth. We'd tape the shows. You know, it was a great time for wrestling fans. So, you know, some people said, well, I only liked one or the other. Well, we like them all, including the ECW too. So, but let's see. We do have I think it was D-Town guy here with overrated. Yep, if you're referring to CM Punk, yeah. But you know, that's like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go get this horse for a second. Keep kicking it. And then of course we got WCW NWO for life.
This is right now. My hand looks really photoshopped. Right now, it's just like you put.
What if you pulled your hand out and it was really huge? Like it was actually like big. Oh, that's fun. But what I wanted to talk about first was obviously this past Saturday, AEW started off with their new show, Collision or Nitro. You know, basically it looked just like Nitro, everything like down to the color and everything. But it was a pretty good show. Not gonna lie. Of course, it opens up with CM Punk. CM Punk had to have his promo. He had to have this like mini pipe bomb light, as I like to call it. You know, like he had to make sure to get like some of his talking points out of the way. And you know, he got his cheap pops from the crowd, of course. But the two things that rubbed me so wrong in that whole thing was one, he came out with a bag, like a velvet bag, and he inferred that he is still champion. What I'm saying, he flat out basically said, well, I never lost this belt, so I'm still champion. Kind of just doing that same thing he did in WWE, where you had the dual WWE champions and all that stuff. And it's like, really, you were stripped of the belt, so you do not have the belt any longer. Do you understand why you lost the belt? You know, it's weird. Like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they didn't write some storyline that they were still trios champion last time I checked. So, but you have to have this weird storyline. Like, I really hope it doesn't turn into like he has the belt too, Sauce. Oh gosh, I really hope not. But
listen, with Papa Khan, who knows? Because you know his mindset. You know, he feels like Phil could probably still be like a top draw for the company. Don't get me wrong, Phil, he's definitely a draw, but I don't think he is the draw as you're going to see in weeks to come. You know, the honeymoon's gonna be over with, and everybody's gonna be like, okay, you did your promo. Okay, are you gonna wrestle? What are we doing, Phil?
That's a good point right there. You know, anytime a wrestler comes back for a good in a company, it's that the honeymoon phase. So they'll slowly start, unless they're booked a lot. and he's only going to wrestle like twice a month. He's not going to be wrestling a lot, so he's going to have to stay on TV at least and cut promo
for the ratings.
Well, yeah, and we, as in our last, the one episode, our Mr. Brooks episode, it's not that I hate on him completely. Promo wise, he cuts great promos with the wrestlers he's working with. That's always been a thing. Him and MJF, him and John Cena when they were in WWE, him and several other people. I mean, name a wrestler, and they probably had a great promo with them, working with them. So,
yep.
and that was the other thing. When he referred to him being king, I'm the king of this place, I'm the king or whatever. And I'm like, okay, stay humble, Mr. Brooks. Stay humble, It's like, okay, you came and sit down like in your pipe bomb because your knees probably we're gonna start cracking, And
I said, this isn't, we hate Phil, situation. It's just it is, at this point in his career, it is what it is. You're gonna get some good. I mean, don't get me wrong, the man can still cut promos like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And I think the only person who probably could do it better than him is probably Enzo. And I'll down that hill. And
those guys got, man, back in the day. Oh Lord, man.
At this point, I think as far as Phil goes, what you see is what you get. We all seen this song and dance multiple times. We just, like I said, y'all, let's just wait till that honeymoon phase is over. And and the biggest thing is I still haven't seen this ESPN interview that they've been talking about. Like, I've seen snippets and whatnot, but this was Saturday. This ESPN interview that he claimed is going to probably piss a lot of people off in the back. So I don't know if it's up now as of this as of this podcast, because I wasn't really looking too much. I was busy
I'm
at
not
work.
sure either. Actually, I'm not sure either. I have to look that up and see if that's going to even release yet. But kind of piggybacking off what you were saying, D-Town Guys kind of says it too. I think at this point, if it doesn't work for Punk, he's done. Yeah, because even with the little promo he did there, he's basically, he still hates Hangman Page. He's not going to work with him. Hangman Page is going to sit there in interviews and say he doesn't need to learn anything from anybody. I'm good. I don't need to learn from anybody and have his little smug attitude and stuff. So
listen, he can learn from Logan how to do a better buckshot lariat.
Yep. It's like this.
I hope you, Mr. Page, I hope you hear me on this podcast, you coward.
Yeah, he's like this. Yeah, my feelings. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Adam Page watching this, he gets up and starts just swinging his fist in the room.
It's okay. I'll bring back my semi-professional wrestling career. Don't worry. I could. That's okay.
And don't get me wrong. Like, actually, I mean, I don't have this disdain for Page like a lot of other people do. They, because I never got to watch the New Japan stuff where he was seen as like the stooge, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I just feel like, Adam Page probably gonna be in his feelings about it. And don't get me wrong, when it comes to Phil and Page, I mean, Phil's up here and Page is like just floating up right here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, pretty much. But kind of moving on with that Collision show. That was obviously the opening promo, has a little thing there. But the show itself was pretty good. I mean, they had to come out with pretty much on fire to like showcase it. And
oops.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
My bad. I'm thinking I'm getting ahead of myself.
You are good, man. But we watched this show, and this was actually a pretty good show. Just the fact that, look, Andrade was back finally after months off the TV, comes back, and he has the match against Buddy Matthews. And this is a great match. This is a great match. I think, without even looking it up, they gave him like 20 minutes. At least 20 minutes in this match. And they did a really good job of like selling the moves. At one point, they did a nice little like kayfabe type, like where he hurt, and the referees then they're checking him during the little picture-in-picture they do on TV when they're at a commercial. You could tell it wasn't real, but split second, you're like, oh man, if you're there live, it would look a lot real. You know what I'm saying? And Andrade did a great job selling the arm. Buddy did a great job selling the leg. Someone had a great sign in the audience. That was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Sauce made sure to take a picture of the TV. It was like, what did it say? It said, "Hey, buddy, Dommy's got your mommy," or whatnot. It was a great sign. It was on the hard cam too, so of course it was perfect. But that match went. I mean, oh, man, some hard hits. At one point, Andrade did that back elbow, almost like the Rainmaker.
Yeah,
Destroyed him in that corner. But the best part, well, I say best part, but the little memorable was at the end. Andrade puts Buddy in the figure 4 and then arches up and does the figure 8, which Charlotte's like, that's my man. That's my move. I did this. That's awesome. So that was it was cool. It was a nice little finish.
Charlotte was at home like, that's why he the GOAT.
That's right. And it just makes me so mad because we talked about this. If Andrade, how hot he was there, was in LWO now as the leader, I mean, they would be dominant. They would book him dominantly. And it's crazy. But I just hope this whole time he's been not working, he's been getting paid at least good enough money. That's all. That's all I care. They got married, I know that, but she probably paid for that. Sugar Mama. Sugar Mama Charlotte. But no, that match was great. Then they had the women's tag match, which this is the one we were talking about. Yeah, this was Sauce's favorite match of the night, and I mean, I liked it too. It was actually a really good, strong women's match, which makes me hope that they at least get a women's match on this pay-per-view this weekend. But we'll find out tomorrow on Dynamite. But the women's match was great because you had Willow Nightingale, who they've been pushing a lot, and Sky Blue, and has a team together, and they fought against Tony Storm and Ruby Soho. And that was good. Fast-paced. They weren't slogging through the match. They weren't like it was good. And it just makes me hope for keep pushing forward with that women's division. So, and then of course randomly the Acclaimed came out. That was not. It was like cool. It's like, we're here. Now it's like okay, cool. All right. The Acclaimed every weekend now is what they're saying in AEW, which I thought was cool. And then of course Miro came back finally again. All these returns.
Listen. I was talking to a coworker today, and I said the pop that Miro got when he came out there, you would have thought he was out there running. You would have thought he was out there running down the ramp trying to save Hogan at WrestleMania from Sid Vicious and Papa Shango. That's how a lot of pop he was getting. Like,
except Miro would have got to the ring in time. There's a difference.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But I'm just listening to that pop. So at this, I just hope they do something with him or not. Because my question is, was he hurt during this time off, or they just didn't know what to do with him? That's what I'm really curious about.
Yeah, from everything I remember reading, this was months ago, they basically said they did not have anything creatively for him to do, which is, to me, I use that. I'm sorry, that's a bullshit answer. We watch wrestling
literally Ring of Honor. You could
go
over there,
right? I mean, look, Miro, Samoa Joe, boom. Let these guys just break the ring down, man. Come on,
that's oh my. See, this is what
Powerhouse Hop in there. Then you have Brian Cage come in there, and they all square up like you're talking about big, sweaty man meats slapping meats. Come on.
This is why I hate you, Tony Khan. This is why I hate you sometimes.
TKO. Sauce is about saucing up. I feel it. I feel it vibrating through the computer.
God damn you, Tony. But no, it's just like, I'd rather y'all just lie and say he was hurt. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But the fact that if that's really true, like, we just didn't know what to do with him for like 10 months. It's like,
yeah,
really, like, this man is money. This man gets over. Hell, he was over, pretty much wherever Miro goes, The man is open. Give him a simple gimmick and he runs with it. He'll be the redeemer, God's chosen one. Listen, this stuff writes itself. And even so, you give him like a little promo here and there. Let the man go out there and work. Like you said, we could have got him and Joe in Ring of Honor. We could have got him in Powerhouse Hobbs. We could have got him and just throw him in there with Jericho just because.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doc.
Oh no, that's it. It's still just it's the Chewbacca defense, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's like hell. He could have been with Tony Khan's, with his weird, subjective booking. Yeah, you could have made Miro. You could have just threw Miro in the number one contender spot, for the title, just to give MJF something to do.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it'd be great because you'd have to have MJF win like dirty to keep that belt, but to make it more believable to push Miro more. But it was nice still seeing him, and it was funny because he was. They kept referring to Miro will be in action. He'll be in action. So I'm like, he's probably gonna face Action Andrade. Like I just joked because I kept saying in action, and I'm like, is it really good? But no, it was other former WWE superstar Tony Nese, who again, I've always been high on Tony Nese because this guy, great wrestler, great physique, good on the mic. He did have to relegate to do a little bit more cheap heat. At one point, he was like, "New York's better." Then boo. It's like, oh, come on, Tony, you don't need to do that. But
ain't nothing wrong with a little cheap heat.
Yeah.
Listen, if we can, hey, here's Dana Brooke on NXT. But listen, if we could do cheap pops, why can't we get some cheap heat?
Yep, I like it. I agree. We do have another chat here. We got Avery in the house. So we got It's gonna be nice too, Sauce, about Avery because so when I get this belt back on Sunday at Forbidden Door, I will become a 13-time champion. That I know you guys will have your adoration for me. I understand, including Avery. So you've had the belt long enough, Avery. So sorry, but it's coming home. So
for those who don't know, can you explain to them real quick, Doc?
Oh, okay. So again, right here, the Tomato Fountain Championship, the silver belt up here, and our wrestling shows that we have, where we have about more than 5 people participating. We have kind of like a betting game on it. It's no money involved. Just the championship right here, and then this championship right here. So, in a sense, it's just voting. You vote for who you think is going to win, if there's going to be a finishing maneuver that finishes it or not. Sometimes some other prop bets are in there. It's always pretty fun. And, of course, Sauce here, he's, I believe, a 4-time, for almost 5-time champ. Again, I am a 3rd-time champ, but no one's comparing or anything. I'm just kidding.
Now, listen, Doc, you got your 13 reigns, but I have been the longest reigning champion in modern Tomato Fountain history.
So let's preface that a little bit, folks. He had that during the pandemic. So we'll just say that.
Listen, y'all, did we not, Doc, did we not still get together?
We did.
Get another show?
We did. I know.
I rest my case. It was defended. Listen, let me tell y'all something. That little gray championship up there, I defended that more in 1 year than Roman did his whole 3-year reign.
That's agreeable. That's definitely.
I put that on me. I put that on my mother. I put that on Michigan. I put that on Detroit Lions. I put that on everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it does look like Avery has a chat here. That thing does not leave. Well, come Sunday, just bring it. That's all I gotta say. So anyways, basically the show, here we got D-Town guy in here. SmackDown was better.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And then of course Avery again was like, yeah. Oh, it's the same. Yeah. We'll just keep that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the main event happens on this collision, which again, You know, Philly Brooks couldn't even be in a singles match; had to be in a trios match. And it was funny because when we before it started, me and Sauce were watching, and I said that Juice Robinson is going to take the full brunt of this match, and he's taking the loss, no questions asked. And
Yeah,
what
you weren't lying.
Man,
there was a moment.
Yeah.
There was a moment where it looked like Joe was going to do the business, but then
he said nope, just rolled out of the ring. Yeah, I mean, you know, CM Punk obviously is in there taking the hot tag. You know, you got FTR there, so they loved him. Whatever you want, fine. That's it. There's your match. But now it's like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna be pushed to now? Are you gonna infer that you're gonna be with it fighting MJF? Are you gonna go after? I don't know. And honestly, Adam Cole or anything like that. Or I know Adam Cole's still doing stuff with MJF. So they have a lot of things to work out on that. But overall, it was a pretty good show. I think Collision, they really had to ramp it up. So I hope that the next upcoming weeks, they just keep putting on quality matches. And then just not much. Don't put a bunch of filler. Just put some quality matches on there.
Yeah.
Make sure there's women's match on there of that high caliber, you know? Like, I don't want to see no Jade Cargill on here. I don't want to see her on Collision. Get out of here. But I mean, they eventually will put her on there. But no, I don't want her on there. I want some quality stuff there. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just see how long before the booking, takes a dive.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So
and then it'll just be the field show for the first 30 minutes every single Saturday.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. But so going real quick with what D-Town guy said, yeah, there was a very good reason why SmackDown was better, I would say. I would say so. Sauce, wouldn't you say so?
Definitely. It's what. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I have some people that who they watch WWE, they don't really follow wrestling hardcore like me and Doc over here. And all weekend, that's all people was bringing up to me. It's like, man, you watch wrestling? You see that man kick that? You see that man kick Roman? I saw all of it live. My dad even brought it up, and I forgot my dad even watched SmackDown.
Yeah.
And when I said, it was just kind of, a little chitter chatter, throughout the weekend.
I mean, look at that though. You're talking about people that normally don't watch wrestling and how far it's went into the algorithms of the social media and just into regular people. And that's what they want. That's exactly what WWE wants. They want that. And guess what? They didn't need no Logan Paul to do it. They didn't need that extra celebrity. The way that this whole story has been built up for almost over a year is, it's insane. And now you're getting the Bloodline Civil War. Literally what I saw on a poster, Bloodline Civil War. And now we get the Usos versus Roman
Solo
at Money in the Bank. So, and it's like, come on, it's gonna be so good. So, but like I said, that we'll definitely be previewing that all next week. And I can't wait. I can't wait for that. It's gonna be good. But yeah, of course, there's a lot of good. They're doing a lot of good stuff right now with the promos, with the build up for these matches, and then of course it's soap opera for men, but also women that watch wrestling. There's definitely a lot, but it really is. And people joke about that. I'd be like, hell yeah, it is. That's not an insult to me when I'm a wrestling fan. If you have a good story like that, I mean, you keep going with it. So, D-Town guy, you were absolutely right this week. Yes, SmackDown was definitely better.
So real quick, I'm over here glancing at NXT.
Nope.
So Dana Brooke, they're doing like
breaking news.
So they're just doing this little work where Dana Brooke is working a leg injury, and then she tries to do a little cartwheel thing or whatever, and she like falls down and playing like she tore something. So now Cora Jade and they're just like talking smack to each other while Dana Brooke is on a stretcher. Now Cordray is just trying to get at her. I hope she really flips this thing over that she's on. I forgot what it's called. But anyway. But yeah, as far as SmackDown, pretty solid show. Didn't get a chance to see Raw, but yeah, like I said, I heard Mr. Buckshot Logan was was the last entry.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too on Raw that happened, which was crazy, is that they had a match to get into the last spot for the women's Money in the Bank, and Trish Stratus wins by DQ because Becky Lynch made it happen. So Becky Lynch wants to fight her in Money in the Bank. Here's why I thought it was crazy. One, as we said a few weeks ago, I'm glad that they're pushing this feud further, and we're finally going to probably get that next match at SummerSlam, like after Money in the Bank's match. But this is actually Trish Stratus' first ever ladder match. She's never been in one in her entire career.
Well, that's not shocking considering we didn't start getting women's cage matches until what, 20?
You're right. Hey, look, you're right. But even when during that height of the women's division with her, Victoria, Jazz, Mickie James, they had hardcore matches like a lot, and they weren't like super hardcore, but just a trash can lids, kendo stick, stuff like that, a chair or whatever. But at that point, I thought maybe they could have done like a ladder match, even at the tail end with Lita too. But yeah, that's crazy. Oh, that's nuts. But yeah, so they're setting that up. Going to be a good show. So that'll be good for that for sure. And I think D-Town guy, he's watching NXT with us. So just see.
Yeah. But the most important was, I was trying to figure out what that word was. It's, ladies and gentlemen, it's called a stretcher.
A stretcher.
You hurt yourself, and the medical people put you on that thing with wheels. Stretcher.
All I can remember about that too is when Rey Mysterio got put on the stretcher, and Big Show, while he's strapped to it, slams him against the turn post, forgetting that he is legitimately strapped to it. His face slams right on his face. I was like, oh my God. And it was like the camera was right on his face, like, oh, my face.
I know Big Show's in the back, like, oh my God. I did not think that through.
No, but you know what? It still looked like a sick bump, and I'm pretty sure he would have been like, it was good, but my face was a little smushed for a little bit. But so anyways, on with this week. Again, this Forbidden Door show is our second attempt at this co-branded show with New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW. With that being said, on this, compared to last year, we've only got 4 confirmed matches. This is 10 times better than last year's entire card. And without looking it up, I think they had 8, 9 matches. I think I can't even remember what they had last year without looking it up, man. But we only have 4, and again, most likely we're going to get 2 or 3 matches tomorrow within the next between tomorrow and Rampage, or Collision, or however that show's going to work now.
Elemental P.
There we go. But right now we got some bangers, and we're going to go over them, our ideas. And I'm actually going to start off with the world champion MJF versus Hiroshi Tanahashi on this. And again, MJF's already in great promos. Basically, when he called him out, he said, "I don't want to face some scrub from some indie fed in Japan." That's what he was saying to the interviewers. And yeah, obviously, it's funny because they're not an indie fed, but it's MJF. He's never not going to be in character. He's going to stay in character all the time. And you're going to face, and the idea of him facing Tanahashi is great. Tanahashi is arguably like the John Cena of New Japan. He's extremely well liked. He's been champion. He got to the point where he didn't even need the belt anymore because he was just so popular and over. To me, great choice to have this match. You got the super over Tanahashi versus the super heel MJF. So MJF's still winning though. Not even a question. Because it's for the title. I mean, come on. He's not going to lose the title to Tanahashi. Though it would be a huge swerve. Gosh, that would be a swerve. But it wouldn't happen. But what are your thoughts on this, Sauce?
Listen, once again, this is another perfect opportunity to let guys know who's never seen MJF before AEW because he's already proven that he can wrestle when he wrestled Brian Danielson for like in that hour, in that hour Iron Man match.
Oh yeah.
He's already showed the world that he can do it. Now, here's one more example. Now he's going against one of the best, and now he's got to wrestle, kind of like, is in a sense, kind of like, strong style match, because whenever you bring those boys over from New Japan, you about to get, some hard hitting, strong style wrestling. So with that being said, definitely looking forward to it. I think this will be the closer. Because last year the closer was for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I think Okada was the champion.
Yes.
So last year, yeah, I believe they closed the main event last year with that fatal 4-way for the championship. And so this year, I can see them. I don't see them doing closing 2 straight years with New Japan, closing. So I think this year you get, AEW closing with MJF and Tanahashi. So, and obviously, it's a no-brainer. 2 of these matches, at least right now, are no-brainers as of who's going to win. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this match.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I actually just looked this up because I was actually curious. There was 9 matches in 4 pre-show matches on last year's Forbidden Door. So again, 9 matches on the card, 4 pre-show. Main event was actually Moxley versus Tanahashi.
Oh, it was? Okay, yep. My bad.
No, because I had to think about it for a second when you were saying it. So yeah, last year was Moxley versus Tanahashi. And then you had Jay White versus Hangman Page, Okada, and Adam Cole. So it was a 4-way match for the IWGP champion, and Jay White was the champion.
Okay, my bad.
It was that time when he was feuding with Okada, so it made sense for that. Yeah, so I don't have to go into too much more on these, but that was the main one I couldn't remember on that. But yeah, so think about this. There's 9 matches on the card from last year, and we only have 4 regular, but we're going to go into some more here on it. And I think MJF's good. He's going to do the strong style. I think it's going to work really well. I think you're going to see him in the match look like he's learning on the fly. He has to adapt on the fly. And I think it's going to work really well. I think he will, and then he'll beat him. He might not even use his finisher. He might use some kind of Japanese strong style finishing maneuver. I don't know exactly what. He might change it up and do something different. Similar to what he did with Brian Danielson. He didn't use his submission. I believe he used his own one. I can't remember. Yeah, so I'm excited. At first I probably would have said he won main event, but this will probably main event, which will be crazy because there'll be Tanahashi main event in both shows last year and this year, if this main event's like you're saying.
So I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at that either. No, I think that would work. I'd be fine with that for sure. So to me, this is going to be a good match. But that being said, moving on, we do have, let's see. I will go with Okada versus Brian Danielson. So yeah, Kazuchika Okada, former multi-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, current Never Trios Champion right now, facing off against the American Dragon, Brian Danielson, I believe for the first time ever. I'd have to, and I think this is going to be a knockout, stiff match. You're gonna see elbows. You're gonna see knees. You're gonna see kicks. You're gonna see the busted blood vessels from kicks, both sides. You're gonna. Oh man! Wow! What? Whew, man! I'm already getting sweaty thinking about it. But what do you think? What do you think, man?
So I know a lot of people they'll probably book this as like their match, their match of or the card, the match of the night. And with me, like I've seen Okada wrestle. I know, so I've learned that his wrestling is like it's basically like a slow burn up until the climax. And I feel like it's gonna be a pretty solid match. It's definitely not gonna be trash by no means. I think when I got introduced to Okada, I was expecting like my face to just be blown off or whatnot. Um, but as far as this match goes, definitely gonna be solid. I feel like, and then I feel like also with Danielson because, like I said, Okada style, he's definitely it's a slow burn. There's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be quite it's gonna be a lot of stiffness here and there. But I think with these two, they work because as far as with Danielson's, him being a technician.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be I would expect maybe after the first 5 minutes might be revved up, get pretty high, but I'm expecting the next 10 minutes after that basically be slowed down to submissions and just hard hitting spots, where it need be. But this is a match. It's not gonna be my match of the card, but I know it's gonna be for a lot of people, and yeah. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah, I mean it's again. You actually hit it right there when you were talking about Okada being kind of a slow burn. I mean, I've watched enough of New Japan stuff, and I know you haven't really watched a lot of it, but you've seen enough. You've seen enough to see his wrestling style. It is a really slow burn. He's not going to be a flippy wrestler. He's not going to like showcase it. He's not going to be super fast, but he's hard hitting, and the technical moves are going to showcase after all. But new wrestling fans getting thrown at you like that, they might be like, "Who's this guy?" And it's like, this guy, who's this guy? But again, that's why there's so many different options in wrestling to choose from and to watch. That's a wrestling fan. It's a great time to watch, honestly. So, but I think I believe they're going to give them like 25 minutes, probably.
Oh, easy.
25 minutes. They'll give them the wrestle. And now here's the thing. They've utilized this the other day with MJF and Adam Cole, the time limit. Now, AEW has always had time limits. They wanted that old school mentality. They've rarely used it, but now they've started it. I could see a time limit draw happening if they say there's a time limit. Like if they say, so then they both look good in it. I could see it happen because especially for that match, since there's no belt on the line, there's no championship. It's just for pride. Especially if you want to set up anything in the future, because you know that they'll let them work the show. Because right now, we're halfway through the year. But guess what that also means? We're about halfway until 6 months until 7 months or so to Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, I can't wait to stay up all night and drink like 3 monsters and then wonder why I'm still up at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can drink the monster, then you drink the beer, then you drink the shot, then you drink the monster again, then you eat the food, then we'll be fine. Then we get breakfast in the morning. And I say morning, we mean like 9:00 in the morning. But, yep. But yeah, no, I mean that's funny. But yeah, it's gonna be a good match. I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited to see it. So, excuse me. Real quick here, we do have a couple chats here. We got from Christopher Roseborough. Jimmy and Jay finally turned on Roman. Awesome. Yes. Long time coming. It was smart that they started off with Jimmy, and then it went to Jay. And then when he cut the promo, he made me main event Jay. I'm like, main event Jay. I'm all excited.
We've been saying that since 11 months ago. I've been calling it main event Jay since the first podcast. Go back, look at it. I got receipts.
Right. We got another chat here from Christopher. It says there's a rumor that Umaga's son might join the bloodline. Well, I'm confused because Solo was Umaga's son, right? So I don't know if you're referring to like Jacob Fatu, which is Rikishi's other son, who's not going to be. I mean, if that's who you're thinking, if it's Jacob Fatu, he's not going to be doing anything now. If you've seen anything in the news about him, apparently he has been not good about any of his indie stuff, taking money up front, not showing up, no showing, using the payback money. I mean, you can just look it up, Sauce. I just read this the other day. A lot of these indie guys companies are not happy with him right now.
It's no bueno, especially considering the background he's from. And now, especially as far as Fatu, being Rikishi's son and that family, word gets back, because then
it just makes you all look bad, because of course the interviews and the are all saying bloodlines. Jacob Fatu, and they're like, yeah, physical bloodline, he's not with us,
WWE bloodline,
right? So, and of course they're talking to me like, what the hell? What are you doing? You're making us look bad. Come on. Yeah. Then all of a sudden you see Solo out of nowhere with bam, takes him out. Yep. But so yeah, if that's what you meant, I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, because Solo is still the last pillar standing right now for Roman. So, but moving on, we do have the match that I am not looking forward to. Neither is my brother, because he was just because we don't like the guy that much. But we have the IWGP Heavyweight Championship champion Sonata versus, for some bizarre reason, out of every single person it could be, Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry,
of all people.
I have one word for this: why? I don't have any. I have no other. Like, you could have put any other wrestler.
Miro.
Yeah, right there. Miro. Boom. Miro. Okay. Let's see.
I accept Jay Cargill.
You know what? Why not at that point? But look, you could have Miro. You could have had Claudio. You know what? If you're in the Ring of Honor stuff, Claudio versus Sonata would have been great. Oh my God. I would have watched that, and it just makes zero sense, man.
In all seriousness, I would accept it. Sammy Guevara, if they still trying to hold to these 4 pillars type of deal.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I would have took Sammy. I'm like, granted, Sammy is not, Sammy is mid card, but I would have accepted that before Jungle Boy.
Sammy would have been great. I like the emoji. Yeah. That's great.
I guess if I had to pick, obviously we all know who's going to win this, but my personal feelings, I could care less about this match. To me, I'm be honest with you.
That's just sad, because that's your main title, and you're.
This is a bathroom break match.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Which is messed up to say, because this is your world. This is your top guy wrestling this other guy.
Yeah. It makes. I still can't in any aspect rationalize why he was picked for this match. And guess what? I'm not a booker. I know. I'm not. I get it. But I could just sit here and say that this show, in a sense, it's not. I mean, there's titles on the line. There are titles there on the line and all this stuff. But you're really not. I don't know. This is actually a first, guys. I don't have anything to say. But yeah, it's a snore. Will the match be okay? It might be like, okay. Sonata's a great wrestler. Jack Perry has gotten better. I'm being nice about it, but nothing involved. The fact that
this might be like a 2.5 headlock match. I'm be honest with you. I could be wrong.
Yep. Exactly. And actually, we're going to say it's a good segue there, only because. So obviously, Sonata winning the match. The segue, though, is what match last year were we pissed off about royally, but ended up stealing the show? Sauce.
Cassidy versus Ospreay.
You got it. Now, as of today, Orange Cassidy does not have a match, but is heavily rumored that he will face Zack Sabre Jr. and because he's the New Japan World Television Champion, and then Orange Cassidy is the International Champion. They already had a promo for the past couple weeks. They had a tag team match against each other. To me, they're setting up for a match, and they're going to confirm it tomorrow on Dynamite. That's just me. I'm putting it out there now. That's what's going to happen. If that does happen, that match is going to be a show stealer. Now, Zack Jr. is no Will Ospreay, but he's very good. He's a former Super 8 champion. He's proven himself in the ring. He's kind of almost like a smaller, tall guy though, kind of version of Ospreay. Honestly, if you see him, and I wish it would be for title versus title, like winner take all type thing, because it would be great to see either one of them. You know, Zack Sabre Jr. wrestles a lot in New Japan. He's wrestling AEW. It makes sense. Orange Cassidy could have 2 backpacks. He comes out with 2 backpacks with 2 belts. It would be funny. To me, it would be a duffel bag. So it's like twice as big, and he's just like lifted up like this and put on the ground. Too heavy. You know, it already writes itself. So hopefully that gets confirmed, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy is confirmed, because, you know, a lot of people don't like Pockets. You know, there's certain people that don't like him. There's people that we like him. Me and Sauce, we're fans of him. You
gotta be a really hateful person to hate Orange Cassidy. Because I was talking to a coworker today, and I'm like, you know, as far as his gimmick, you know, his gimmick is made for him to be lazy. I was like, but when he gets in that ring, oh, that man is anything but. Even when, you know, he does his little pockets, you know, shtick for like maybe about 5 minutes, about 2 to 5 minutes, but after that, he's right back to business.
I mean, it takes a lot to stay in character. You know, first off, find a character that works, that has fans over. In wrestling, that's so hard. It's so hard to actually get a character over organically like that. You're talking about a guy who was doing independent stuff with this gimmick, who's getting over on the independent scene, then an AEW signs, and then fans, it snowballs, you know, and to keep that gimmick up all the time and the wrestling ability. Do you know how hard it is to do like a kip up in wrestling, let alone doing the kip up without like your hands and like your pockets, to try to sell it the whole time?
Show me hard.
Oh man, but yeah, just so he can steal a show. I mean, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but I think it was last year or the year before. It was the ladder match that Orange Cassidy was part of. You remember that one? Like they had a ladder here and they were fighting over it, and he like climbed on it and then pulled himself up on it while the guys were to try to get the. It was either like the chip or you know how they did the stupid chip or whatever. I can't remember. That was funny. He got hurt in that match though. But
yeah, that was the one where I think Keith Lee like basically tossed him and he like fell weird.
Yeah, that's the same one. That is absolutely the same match. Now to think about it, but he always had entertaining stuff. Him with Ospreay took a match that nobody wanted to see, and they actually turned into something that was stole the show. Yeah. So again, Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr. I really hope it happens because they deserve, and I hope it's for both of those belts. You could sell that feud for a bit. Have Orange Cassidy go to New Japan, and they do shows here too in LA and different cities here because they're really pushing New Japan in the United States. So it would work perfectly.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, as that nice segue. Now with that segue, we segue again because of Mr. Will Ospreay. It's kind of funny because way back in January, as we watched Wrestle Kingdom, these two guys had a phenomenal match. It was great, over the top, awesome. Kenny Omega came out to the friggin' Final Fantasy VII theme music, for Sephiroth. I mean, come on. It was, and the match was just crazy good. I said directly after that, they're having a rematch at Forbidden Door if they do the Forbidden Door show this year.
This man called it.
No
I
question.
was there.
No, because of the fact that it'd be an AEW New Japan show, I said they're going to wait. It's going to happen there. You're going to get that rematch. And that rematch, you're going to see Will Ospreay win the United States Championship. Now, what's crazy about it is this match, 35 minutes. They're going to give him 35 minutes is what I'm going to call on that match for sure. My thing, though, is, and I'm going to have this as a prop bet on Sunday. I'm going to have this, is that I think this is going to be the first time you see Will Ospreay kick out of the one-winged angel. You're going to see it. You're going to see it happen because you're going to see. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy though, right? Oh man, I'm just like, the match is going to be great. I just seeing Ospreay and these guys work. It's like what is that, poetry, but like in wrestling form. That makes sense, you know. Now what's crazy is we love this, but you know who's losing his mind in his mom's secret basement cellar? Remember, he's like this is his podcast. Oh God, oh God, 8 stars, 9 stars. You know what I'm saying, guys? I just I wish I was wrong, but I am not wrong when it comes to that. But the joking aside, the match is going to be, I mean, already, unless someone breaks a leg going to the ring, it's going to be a 4-star match. It hasn't even started yet.
It's 5-star. Come on now.
Well, no, I'm just saying without them even getting in the ring.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. 4. Then they start wrestling. Then it's going to move up. It's just that they're just so good working together. So
I'm calling it right now. That's going to be man meat. That's going to be a man meat match. Man meat worthy.
Oh, and you're going to see talk about hits to the head, concussions, not concussions, but like just looking like they're getting concussions, snapdragon suplexes, Ospreay's hidden blade, where it looks like he's just taking your head clean off, guillotine style. Just it's going to be good. I don't know. It's just going to be a great match. But that prop, what I'm going to say is, though, is the fact that if he kicks out of that one-winged angel, we're going to be like, no, what? But Ospreay winning makes the most sense. It does. You know, because Omega won at Wrestle Kingdom, it just makes sense for Ospreay to win this. So 35-minute match, maybe 38 minutes. It might go like under 40. It won't. I don't think it'll hit 40 minutes, but it'll.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be. I'm excited. Very excited for it.
Sunday can't get here fast enough.
Yeah, right. I know, it's crazy, and as we said already, that's really. I mean, that's the 4 matches. But again, I heavily rumored that the aforementioned Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy, but the other match that was talked about was Mr. Philly Brooks, CM Punk versus Kenta. But now they're not talking about it now, which that doesn't surprise me because they probably let them wrestle at Collision, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna hold off for a little bit, and then we'll have you come back because this is too soon, just like a week out, you know, from you wrestling.
Way too soon.
Yeah, we're not gonna have you go. It's okay though, and you know, I don't know what else they would do at that point. There doesn't, I guess. Well, here's the thing: Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. I guarantee if she didn't get hurt, she was going to be on the show. There was not even a question of that. But her getting hurt in her match against Willow Nightingale, where she like fell off the thing, broke her foot or whatever. Yeah, that was, they for sure were like, oh, we're going to have her face off against
Toni Storm.
Yeah, like, so yeah, one of the WWE girls, you know. And you know what would have been crazy? What if they put up against Paige? That would have been a callback right there. A not so good callback, but it would have been a callback.
Right.
But yeah, so that match obviously doesn't happen. But a tag team match, like right now, Young Bucks aren't even in something. Young Bucks aren't in anything. You know, the Acclaimed aren't. FTR's not doing it. FTR could easily be doing in a match. So,
real quick, Doc, who you got for Ospreay versus Omega?
I had said Ospreay. I'm sorry. Will Ospreay will win the belt. I say it's his time to win it back. And And again, the big deal though is because the match is going to kind of end there at that end with he'll take the one winged angel, kick out. Omega's going to be freaking out the whole time, and then that's when he'll move the strike, and he'll beat him after that. So at less than 40 minutes, but about 38 minutes, we'll probably be able to time on that. But yeah, I mean, as for any other matches, tag team matches, FTR, they should easily be on the show. Your AEW tag team champions, and New Japan's got a lot of tag teams. They got a lot of people to work. The Guerrillas of Destiny could easily wrestle. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. There's a lot of people that could work. They're IWGP tag champions. I think it was Fletcher. I can't remember if it was Fletcher and Aussie Empire, or they might have just lost them. I can't remember on that. But plenty of choices to work. Minoru Suzuki, you could have that tough bastard fight anybody here. Put him in a match with Claudio. Put him in a match with Miro. Guess what? We're gonna keep bringing up Miro because it would be great to see it. It would be cool, And Miro, that international championship, it's got his name written all over it. That's all I gotta say on that, because when he was that U.S. champion, that dominant U.S. champion in WWE, all I could think about is if they had just brought back the European Championship, he would have made that belt like skyrocket, and he would be a champion, So, but yeah. So I don't know any other matches that they've talked about, but those two matches that I mentioned are the only ones I've heard any rumblings about. And at that point, even if those two got added right now, that's six matches. Last year was 9. Sometimes you don't need that many matches. Maybe the show will actually end, before 1:30 in the morning. So, but we'll have to, we'll see. I think honestly, it's going to be a great show, and I just wish that with these shows they can lock up these matches sooner than later. It's like they wait last year, like they announced the show like a month, like 6 weeks before, 5 weeks before. And it was like, you don't have much time to work. Kenny Omega being injured, it was weird. It was very weird to do that. So I don't know what they plan on doing this time. All I know is at least what's on here now. It's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be So I'm excited.
Yeah.
But, it looks like we do have another chat from Christopher. I think it's Jacob. Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, and it's Rikishi's son is Jacob Fatu. So, yep. But yeah. It's gonna be a good show, and again, good wrestling. So I can't wait for it this Sunday. My place. I reclaim the Tomato Fountain Championship as my own. Just saying. And no need to applause. Hold the applause. Thank you very much.
So, Doc, are we ready for Heat of the Week?
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. I got to be like Keith Lee. I got to bask. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, of course. So we have our good Heat of the Week. And I'll go first, honestly, because just watching his promos, he's just looking so good with everything. Fans love him. But I got to say with LA Knight, I mean, I'm just seeing his stuff from 6 months ago where the fans were just kind of like still a little indifferent, only a few here and there chanting, and now to just nonstop chanting his name and his catchphrases. And yeah, if you listen to him, it sounds like, he sounds like The Rock. And like, yeah, I mean, kind of, but guess what? I don't see a problem with it. Like, really? He makes it his own. He's very charismatic. And even if he doesn't win Money in the Bank, doesn't need it. He's still got a massive push. So that's who I would have to go for my Heat of the Week.
All right. My Heat of the Week is going to be all the dads out there who ever existed.
There we go. Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. shout out to all the dads, the ones that spend time with their kids, that took them to wrestling shows, that introduce them, basically bring on a whole new generation of wrestling fans or whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much my hero week. All the dads out there, who are in their kids' lives, whether kids, stepkids, or whatnot. That's my hero week. It's always cool. We go to a wrestling show and you see a dad there, with their sons and daughters or not, and then the kids so excited because it's their first wrestling show, and it's an experience that with their dad that they never forget.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's why I love seeing wrestling shows, especially the indie stuff, the smaller indie shows, because it's
yeah,
always kids, right? How excitable they are and how they're into it. They are, and I remember that when I was younger and going to these shows. So yeah, that's a great one right there. It was funny because me and my brother were talking to Dad on Sunday and reminiscing because we were in our backyard barbecuing a little bit and reminiscing. Literally, that's our matches. Me and I was talking to my nephew about the matches. I was joking with him about how, hey, you keep messing around, let's throw you over the fence like I used to back in the day. And he goes, "Oh, you didn't do that." I'm like, me and Chris looked at each other like, and we started to like run after him to get. He ran away so quickly. I said, "I guarantee you, we went over that fence many times. So trust me, it was fine." But yeah, Dad definitely was one that was always talk about the wrestling. He always like the old school stuff. His mom, my grandma, like loved like she loved certain people and hated some. Like she hated Stan Hansen, but she loved Flying Brian Pillman when he was young. And
right.
stuff like that. It was so random people, but she watched it. She watched it, and it's cool. So that's a good pick, man. That's a good pick. But yeah, so we do have a lot. Like I said, it's kind of an incomplete card for right now, but still a pretty good looking card for Forbidden Door. And then obviously tomorrow we're gonna get some more information, and then Rampage, and then to Collision. Like I said, the day before they'll be like, so we're gonna announce like 3 more matches. Collision. It's like, why a day before? You know? But we'll have to wait and see on that. And then of course, next week we'll have our preview for Money in the Bank. And then going over this and then Money in the Bank. And it'll be a good time. So, but pretty much that's all I got. So, in Sauce, unless you got anything else.
I'm good to go.
All right, man. Hey, it's always good hearing from you guys, chatting, yan. Yeah, we always got the yes. So, and like I said, definitely check us out on Facebook. We do have a new Facebook page, basically Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast. You'll find it. You'll find our nice picture there as the Dudley Boys. That's us right there. And then, of course, we have our Instagram and we have our Twitter page. So our Twitter. I actually said it right the first time. Well, that's crazy. And with all that being said, I'm Dr. Love, of course. Can't do without him, but we got Sauce Bronson, baby.
And once again, let's say, as far as this week goes, y'all be happy, y'all be safe and healthy, but most importantly, be good.